Hey everybody, my name is Steve with Interglobal Comics. I've been on Instagram highlighting my foreign comic book collection for probably about 4 years now, and decided to maybe start making some YouTube videos of somewhat of like a market report and maybe some other foreign related things going on. Maybe some CGC unboxing, mail calls, stuff like that. I'm definitely not, trying to become any sort of social media talking head. I just like to talk about foreign comics, and that's kind of been my focus for the last, 4 years. And I think it's pretty interesting to see what's going on in the market. Things have, definitely in the last year, maybe 2 years, have pretty well blown up. Books that were selling for $30-$40 are now selling for over $100. Some books are $200, $300, hitting $1,000. So it's pretty interesting to kind of see the progression. I started on Instagram and have been fairly active in the foreign comic community now for a little bit. I haven't really done anything on YouTube. I was on Global Comic Safari with John Z and those guys, and they haven't really been putting out too much content, so I just kind of feel like there's been a void. And also Comic Tom, he was kind of doing some foreign comic stuff as well, but haven't really seen much from him either. So I just figured, hey, let's just kind of see what's shaking, and I'll make my own kind of low budget videos here. Definitely nothing, no frills going on over here. So yeah, this is my Instagram page. Anytime you want to check out my collection, I got it here. Sometimes I sell stuff. Lately I've been focusing on just kind of collecting as much stuff as I can. But I've been going pretty hard for probably about the last 4 years. I've collected comics pretty much since I was in middle school. I was obsessed with Xmen growing up, and things have kind of just snowballed from there. I started in foreign comics as a way to kind of get the keys that I could never afford as a kid, and it's really snowballed. I was, very heavily selling on eBay for the last probably about 4 years, and selling hundreds and hundreds of foreign comics and upgrading my personal collection in the meantime. But yeah, it's been a pretty crazy adventure. Have decided to kind of slow down the selling this year, but still buying, still selling a little bit here and there. But so this is going to be kind of just more of a market report, things I've seen going on. So let's see what I got. And these sales have all been pretty much about in the last month and a half. Nothing too much beyond that. But I figured I could maybe kind of do like a monthly update. And I do market report posts every once in a while when there's like a big sale on my Instagram as well. All right, let's see here. So we'll just start. So this is Russian Hulk 181. These were printed in, they actually started printing them in 2019. Not to toot my own horn, but me and my buddy Jeff were the first ones to get these imported into the country. It was a real hassle. Got multiple credit cards canceled, and the bank did not like me sending my money to Russia. But I was first to market with these and only was able to get 5, so we thought these were going to be the rarest comics in the world. And then the Russian market just completely exploded. Russian sellers, people finding different avenues of getting these books directly from Russia, so to the point where they were selling for about $10-$20 just maybe up to a couple months ago. My first sale was, I think, $250. That was the first to market. But now the Russian comics are once again a no-go with the war going on with Ukraine. Russia, pretty much their postal service has been shut off. I tried to get some Russian comics out before things got too crazy, and they're just stuck. They're not going anywhere, and all the Russian sellers on eBay are all gone. There's none left. So basically what we have in the United States right now is pretty much going to be the supply. So for that reason, things look like they're starting to move up again. I heard Josh Allen saying that there was somebody on Whatnot's spent like $250 on a Russian AF-15, which is that's crazy because I was selling those for $15 last month. But they're not coming anymore, at least not until things get figured out. So we'll kind of have to just keep an eye on that. But yeah, so now $44. Yeah, it's pretty good. People were buying these for under $10. Maybe around $10 shipped from Russia. It's just stacking them as many as you could and hoping that they came in decent condition. Trying to find them in, trying to get them in good condition just totally was dependent on who you're buying from. Some were just coming in trash. Other ones, I've seen some people get 9.9s on them. All right, next up we've got the Greek 121, Death of Gwen Stacy. All the Greek books, are somewhat difficult to acquire unless, you're watching like a hawk on eBay. Every once in a while they'll pop up there, or somebody in Greece. There's a guy in Greece that's a great source. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because he's the guy I get my books from, so I'm not trying to give up my sources. But he's really the only one for the most part steadily getting keys out of Greece, and if he decides one day he doesn't want to sell anymore, the foreign market will definitely struggle. But to me, that's a pretty solid sale, $86, and the book looks like it's in pretty good condition. $200 for these Marvel Edition 15. It looks like one is a Greek and the other is the oversized Italian. The Italian more than likely doesn't have the stickers in it, which they came with from the publisher. That's pretty common. I don't think I own a single Italian book with the stickers in it. CDC as of right now doesn't denote whether or not the stickers are in the book. That I'm sure will probably change eventually, but that's a pretty strong sale. This just sold a few days ago. Two Greeks, the Spider-Man ones, the white cover, which is the later print, and the blue cover, which is the earlier print, $285, and that's a very, very strong sale. These are, not easy to get books, but that blue cover is definitely going to be the harder one. I think that is from the early 80s, and then the white cover is from the late 80s. So it's cool that they did multiple print runs, and these books are digest size and tend to contain multiple stories in the interior. This was a Greek Fantastic Four 5, looked like it was in super low grade. Possibly looks like, it does look like it was pulled from a bind and has water damage. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh man, that went way too cheap. But now that I'm kind of saw the pictures, I was like, oh yeah, that seems like a respectable price for the condition it was in. Crazy colors, purple Dr. Doom. And just a pretty tough to find book on its own. This, I didn't really dive too deep into, best offer accepted to see what the actual offer was that was accepted. But, this is pretty high, I'd say very high grade for a Greek book and signed by Stan Lee. So, this is a pretty awesome book that somebody got. This is the Harley Quinn Mexican variant, $74. Seems like a pretty good deal. I'm more familiar with the German version, where she's not wearing underwear. I've sold a ton of those over the years. They can, for a while there, you could sell them for 60, 70, 80. Now I think they're breaking 100. I think I recently saw one sell for 140 maybe on American eBay. So it's definitely a book on the rise. $350, Mexican Spider-Man 129. This was the second time they printed it. The red cover by Novedades. Very solid price. I don't think I've ever seen one sell this high on eBay. They were selling for right around 100, 150 for years. But I think the more people that collect foreign books, the more interest, the higher these prices are going. This looked like a pretty solid sale, and 6.5, so slab CGC, first, or I guess second appearance of Polaris. Just a classic Steranko cover. Not exactly sure what it's actually sold for, but it's a solid sale for a not a major key, but definitely a key Xmen book. So these books are strange. These are Mexican AF-15s, which don't exist, that were never actually printed, that were created by a German collector and sold on eBay. He was selling them for, I think it was like $35 on German eBay, and then I believe he had to stop selling them due to probably copyright reasons. So now people are flipping them, and it looks like they're getting a decent amount for it. I'm not sure exactly the amount, but I'd say probably over $100. So, and it's a cool book. I kind of had hoped to get one and didn't before he stopped selling it, but I'm not spending over $100 for one. This just sold. I was bidding on this one, and I think I was the underbidder. I bid up to $102. Sergeant Fury, I guess some people say this was his first Silver Age appearance, or it's very close to Avengers 4. I'm not exactly sure, but just a classic Silver Age Captain America cover. Ultimate Fallout 4, the La Mole, limited to 1,000. Pretty surprised people are still paying for this much for this book raw. This to me is more of a reprint than an actual Ultimate Fallout 4, as was just printed about a year ago. And I got nothing wrong, nothing against this book, but there are other Ultimate Fallout 4 foreign editions that people should be probably chasing over this. The Brazilian, the Spain, which is a ghost, the France, Italy, that actually used the, I can never pronounce the guy's name, Djurjevic cover. So yes, and the guys that are spending this much money should do a little more research on what else is out there for foreign comics regarding Ultimate Fallout 4. Saw this as a Walking Dead 1 Mexican edition, 9.9, $750. Don't even really know what this is. Premiere edition, K-Mite foil. Not sure when this came out, but that's a super solid sale, $750. But it is a 9.9, which is always gonna ask more money. Spider-Man 100 Italian edition, $120. Best offer accepted. That's a solid book, solid price. These probably could have been had for $20 on Italian eBay not that long ago, but things have progressed pretty quickly, and you gotta look at the shipping. $30 shipping from Italy, so and I always factor shipping into my price. If I'm selling something, my baseline is what I paid for the book plus what it cost to get here. If you don't do that, you'll go broke. So this was a steal. This is actually printed in 2012, the Italian. So it blows my mind that people are paying $355, but then this sold best offer accepted for less than $150. Looks like from a U.S. seller based on that shipping cost. So this was a steal. These I think should be selling. I paid I think $200 directly from Italy a couple years ago. So this was a good deal. These should be selling way more than the La Mole, in my opinion. This is an interesting phenomenon that's kind of just popped up in the last year or two. Interior keys are starting to pick up steam. I know some sellers are focusing on those because I just kind of joked that they missed the boat on most of the big cover keys, but these sales prove that people want them and people are buying them. So this is Batman Adventures 12 interior story with an interior cover Italian edition. So the exterior cover is not Batman Adventures 12. It is a totally different issue, but this is on the interior. So that's a respectable sale because Batman Adventures 12 is kind of cold right now, even the foreign editions. So this is Fantastic Four #1 from Italy. They, for whatever reason, did not use the original covers for any of their Fantastic Four, ASM, any like the big #1 issues. They use kind of like these cheesy, I don't even know what that is, but $400, someone bought it. So, but the interior story is the same. It does contain Fantastic Four #1, and it was printed in 1971. Here's another interior only, Iron Man 55, $125 for an interior only Italian book. That's pretty surprising. Probably a good investment right now would be to figure out what these books are that have these stories inside them, and probably pick them up for $5-10 on the Italian market, because probably they haven't quite caught on to the Americans wanting these interior stories. But this one sold from Italy, so maybe they have. Here's another one, giant size Xmen, $95. First Falcon from Italy, $70, $30 shipping. So these Italian sellers, they're catching on. There was a time where you could go on eBay Italy and just, run amok and buy dozens and dozens of keys for $10 or less, and just get giant packages in the mail full of key after key. But those days are pretty much gone. But it was bound to happen. Tomb of Dracula #1, Italian edition, $165. Free shipping from Italy, so that's pretty good. That saves you $30 right there. So this is the German G. Young Lee Ghost Spider cover. Not sure what the hell happened there. $16 on 9 bids. A 9.8. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or what happened, because I've sold this issue for almost $100 raw. So how a 9.8 slipped through at $16, I don't get it. And that's one thing I'm going to say, is that I'm not just going to go for the high sales. I'm going to report, a wide variety of sales, whether low, high, doesn't matter to me. I'm not trying to influence the market with what I'm showing you. I'm just trying to report what I see. Journey of Mystery 112. What is this? This looks like the German edition. $100. I didn't even know this was a key, but I guess it's probably Thor versus Hulk. So that's a solid book. Solid price on a book that I wouldn't really consider a key. Here's the German that I was talking about earlier. The no underwear. So yeah, 137. So that's and that shipped from Germany. So these were selling on the American market for $80, $90. So now from Germany they're selling for $140. So typically you get a little bit of a premium if you're a seller within the U.S. just because you already have the book in hand and it's already been shipped from overseas, so you don't have to worry about the book showing up destroyed like a lot of them do. This was a pretty decent price based on someone I think paid way more than this recently. So this is $8.5 for $2.99. The Tomb of Dracula 10s, for whatever reason, all the foreign editions are flying in price. These used to be on American eBay for like $30, $40. Those days are long gone, obviously. So $300, solid sale. Another one, $300. This is the Danish. So this is much harder to find than the German. The German would be, I'd say, the most common. This one is definitely more hard to find unless you know someone in, Denmark. And beautiful book. I have a CGC. I think it's a 6.5, maybe somewhere around there. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite Tomb of Dracula 10s. So this sale just happened the other day, or actually yesterday. Ghost Rider 1 doesn't even use the Ghost Rider 1 cover, but it's the Australian Jaffa. Must be rare because $229 is what it got. And Jaffas in general are super hard to come by. The keys, if you can find any of the big keys, Xmen 1, Hulk 1, jump on it. I've been looking for an Xmen 1 for years with no luck. So hopefully maybe someday I'll track one down. The Newtons, these are some of my favorite comics. They're Australian. They're oversized, crazy colors on the covers. They have a pull-out poster, so you got to make sure if you're going to pay a premium that it has the poster on the inside. Some of them have swap cards also, and I actually just had some graded, and for the first time I saw that CGC noted that one of them does have a swap card in it, where I don't think I've ever seen that notation before. So yeah, I guess they're paying attention. They're trying to hopefully get more into the foreign market, so we'll see how that goes. Australian price variant, Spider-Man $20.99. It seems like a solid sale. These Australian price variant New Mutants 98 are pretty much the top dog, I'd say, of the New Mutant 98s. They outsell the American books, or not outsell, but outprice the American book in the same grade. Definitely rare book to find. There's another Jaffa Moon Knight. These are digest size. Some are digest size, some are oversized. So you just really never know what you're gonna get with these Jaffas. But that was a solid sale. Spider-Man 365, Australian price variant. So Spawn 1 French hardcover. I'd never really even seen this before. But it looks like it's factory sealed. So someone was willing to pay that much for it. French Venom 1. I feel like this probably isn't that hard to find. Someone just really wanted it, I guess. Typically, French books tend to be kind of like the red-headed stepchild of the foreign market. I mean, they've got some great books, but a lot of them are more like trade paperback size or thicker with almost like a cardboard cover. And a lot of them, they redid the artwork. The ones coming out of like in the 70s and 80s, they repainted the covers, but some are like beautifully done. I'd say better than the American covers, so it's worth checking out. Here's an example of that. This is Xmen 101. This is first appearance of Phoenix, and this one has a redrawn cover. You can kind of tell there. It's hard to see in this little picture, but this is really cheap. This seller in France is not. They're just kind of undercutting the market, because I've seen these sell for over $100. Same with these can sell well over $100. This is the Hulk 181 French. This is actually the second time they printed it, but the first time they didn't have any element of 181 on the cover. This one has a little bit going on there. And this is my favorite of the French redrawn covers. This is their giant size Xmen 1 redrawn or repainted. Definitely different, and this is way cheaper than I've seen them sell in the past. So this guy in France, he's trying to make some loot. He's selling them quick. This was actually my sale. It's the Dungeon & Dragon first appearance in comics, as far as I know. I haven't done the research on this. I saw them talking about it on CBSI on one of their shows. I saw that, knew where I could found a few, sold one for $100, sold another for I think this person paid like $120 maybe, something like that. Best offer accepted. I got another one on eBay now, and then I'm out. And I have my personal copy, and from what I can tell, the Spanish source is pretty much well dried up, so we'll have to just kind of see what the future holds. This is a good sale for that book, because this is kind of like the ugliest of the foreign 300s, oversized magazine from the 90s. It's like very kind of gaudy design. You can find these pretty cheap on the Spanish marketplace, so this was a solid sale for $200 with $50 shipping, which is $50 shipping from Spain is ridiculous. I've never paid more than $30, and that's shipping like 20 books from Spain, sometimes more than that. So this seller is, they better be shipping overnight, or they're just ripping people off with that shipping cost. Giant size Xmen 1. This is the first print from Spain. $139. That's a solid sale. I've sold a ton of these over the years for $100 to $125. When I started first selling, I was selling them for I think $60. So things have about doubled in price, or at least on this book. in the last couple years. This is just a crazy sale. Spider-Man 252 must have been real high grade, because I don't know why someone would have paid that much for it. But to each their own. Some people just don't want to source foreign books. They just want to buy it on American eBay and not have to worry about it. And that's the case. If you were to actually search for this book, you could probably find it on the Spanish market for, shipped to America. You're looking probably about $30, maybe a little bit more. But a lot can happen in between shipping from Spain to here. So some people just want to pay that American premium, and this book isn't in America, but sometimes just using the American eBay, you're going to get a premium because you're covered with the money back guarantee. And so here's an example. Looks like a different seller based on the shipping price. This one sold for less than $99. So not sure what the difference would have been there. This is Spanish. I thought this was a pretty strong price for a redrawn Spanish cover. These covers were done by Lopez Espy in the 70s, and some of them are great. Some of them look like a 2-year-old drew them. It's just kind of don't know what you're going to get. But $80, that's a solid sale. This was a huge sale. I should probably find out what this actually sold for, but this is a super rare Argentinian Batman Adventures 12, and looks pretty high grade for what it is. So this is the most I've seen anybody spend on a well, I won't say that, but it's definitely one of the higher prices I've seen spent on a BA 12 and from Argentina. I've actually got lucky, and I have one copy I got for a pretty good price. I think I paid like $30 for it. Got super lucky with that, and I just found another one that I had to pay like $100 direct from Argentina, but I wouldn't sell it for anywhere close to that cost, just because those were just pure luck. And it's definitely not a cheap book. This is Golden Age Guri from Brazil. Not really my expertise. I know a lot of the guys collect these. I don't really collect Golden Age that much, or really at all, but $800 seems like a strong sale. Brazil block. This is from the 70s. I think these are supposed to have little interior centerfold posters. I'm not sure. A lot of them don't have them, and I'm not even sure. I don't think they were stapled in. They were loose, I think. So most of them are missing. So if they actually has a poster, it's probably a miracle. But that seemed like a pretty strong sale. $53. For whatever reason, this Edge of Spider-Verse just doesn't sell very well. I've had a couple, and I've always struggled to sell them, and I thought it would be something that people would be willing to spend maybe a couple $100 on, but I don't think sold one for more than 100, maybe 125, and that's me being in America, in Florida, selling them to other Americans. So this was a steal. $25, you probably could barely get that in Brazil for that much. So yeah, someone got a good deal. Same seller, super cheap, $13. Young Avengers 1. If I would have seen that, I would have jumped on it for sure. Another Guri Golden Age Captain America. Got some weird legs going on this cover, but it's a 1950s. What is this? Netherlands Xmen 266, 150. That was a pretty strong sale. Someone's probably building that set and just needed this book. This is the first set I ever built, first foreign set. And somehow I got lucky, went on Netherlands eBay, and there was a guy that had an entire box of them. So I just bought the entire box. I think I paid $30, and they were all unread. I think there was like 25 in the box, and I just kept the couple nicest ones for myself and just pieced them out on eBay, I think for $25 a piece. So that was probably not a smart move. I probably should have kept a few more, made a little more money in the future, but you gotta just keep the wheels turning. Conan 1, Italian, says a 9.0, who knows, but $145, that's a strong sale. I've sold a lot of these in the past for way less than that. Free shipping from Italy, so that saves you about $30 right there. So not a bad gig. Not a huge fan of the green, but you know, most of the Italian books are high quality, well made books, so you can't hate on them. So this is a pretty strong sale because I'm assuming it went this high because it's signed, triple signed. It looks like, because I've tried to sell these Brazilian Ultimate Fallout 4s and kind of struggled in the past, and I've seen some just sitting out on eBay for around $100, $120, $130. People are sleeping on these actually rare Ultimate Fallout 4s. Like I said earlier, you know, they're going for the flashy La Mole, which was just printed last year, and they're skipping these much harder to find and not vintage, but were actually printed around the same time as Ultimate Fallout 4, the original. But this is a super strong sale, $5.99. I've never seen one sell anywhere near that, so definitely, hopefully people are starting to take notice of the more rare Ultimate Fallout 4. This is a pretty decent price, I'd say. The book looks pretty low grade, though, from what I could tell in the pictures. About $50 from Germany. Green Lantern 76, classic cover. Neil Adams. This was a strong sale, another signed, and some people are getting these books signed, or were getting them signed, because this is Stanley and Ramita, and it sold for $2,500. That's a super strong sale. This is actually Hit Comics from Germany, I'm pretty sure. This is the Netherlands version. It's either German or Netherlands. I can't quite tell. But those are actually printed in the 60s, pretty close to the date of the original publication in America. And I think this is my last one. This is actually from a Spanish auction website, and this is the Ghost, hardest to find Ultimate Fallout 4. And this one sold in the Spanish market for 180 euros, so that's probably like maybe $210. And yeah, it's a super strong sale. I'm lucky I actually have two of these, but it was extremely hard to get my first one, and I've watched the Spanish market ever since, every single day for the last few years, and just was able to find a second copy last month. And then right after that, this copy popped up and sold for way more than I paid for mine. But and I feel like this could be easily, high grade, $600, $700, $800 book if slabbed, because it's super rare. It's very tough to find. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got. So these were all kind of recent sales. I'll try and keep track of what's going on the foreign market, and every month or so, try and make a little report. All right, you guys have a good night.